Bes 700 na siya agad ah. Pag melee ano, wala siyang ano.
No one's dying on my watch.
Kinikage niya ako. No, hindi ko ma-hit yun ah. Tangina, low na low. Bahay na agad ako ah. Teka nga.
Today you're making history.
Building a barrier.
Galing niya. Magaling to. Pang 2,000 agad lead niyo. Ano ba't di tumatama shots ko? Ang ina mo talaga. Nung titirahin ko, puki ng ina ka. Tangatukan na agad yung lead niyo. Ano na, kuturat mo.
Good luck.
Wall incoming. Enemies to pick me up.
Essential pala mag ano, mag-deny na ano. Nakaka-irita naman tong 3-1 agad ang lead niya.
Building cover. Let's take a look at those wounds.
Deny pa.
Time to build some firepower.
Kailangan pala, no?
You have a good eye.
Okay.
All right, buddy, give him hell.
$2,000 lead niya sa akin. 2-1 lead.
Time for a little help. Gotta build me some backup. Setting up a turret.
Kaya ano, putang ina ka.
Turret's online.
Our yellow guardian has been defeated.
Ano ko? Balo naman ang ano.
Defenses are up. I need to make as many of these as I can.
Hooked up cooldown. If you like that, I got some other stuff that fell off the truck.
Need more firepower.
$7,000 din yun.
Gotta get as many of these up as I can.
Just wait until I get going.
Defenses are up.
Mid-boss has arrived.
Good luck completing the ritual.
Our purple guardian has been defeated. Our blue guardian has been destroyed.
Need more firepower.
Excellent work. Our blue water has been destroyed.
Setting up a...
Ay, di ako nakapag-wall po. Sorry.
Time for a little help. Turret's up.
Ang ina, distracting po. Ganun pala yun, no? Ang laki ng date nyo sa akin agad. Ganun pala kalaking bagay ang deny, no? Ganun pala kalaki ang 11K na agad, oh.
Gotta build me some backup.
Sinuntok pala yun. Hindi yung sinuntok.
Spectral barrage. Needs to be patched up.
Healing.
Putting down a turret. Hell.
Let's push yellow.
Setting up a turret.
That comes in many forms. The earth is ours.
Oh,
Virgin Kaylin.
walls out.
I don't miss.
Bebop.
This is the beginning of something.
We should run.
Tumagalaw, gago. Ano makagalaw?
腰吧，没用。
Nangyari. Oh, lens at ang tangan, grabe yung lead niya sa akin. Gusto matamaan yung ano eh.
They've taken an objective.
Gotta build me some backup. Sending out a wall. Turrets online.
And up they go.
Gotta get as many. What's it got, Warden?
又死！操你妹！
Flame.
Need more firepower. Time to block them off. Putting down a turret. We're staying in this fight.
They cower before us. Our yellow walker has been defeated.
Hirap ah.
Swing by anytime.
Our purple walker has been defeated.
This is our Warden.
Ipit ako dun.
I got us covered. Defenses are up.
No one tests me.
Need more firepower.
Hindi ko gusto tong hindi ko type yung ano na ito.
Turrets up. Take cover. Cutting them off. We're winning this. Take them down. Goodbye.
In many forms.
Hindi na lang damage ko.
My team's gonna love me. The other guys,
I can't believe we were nervous about fighting these people.
You got expensive taste. I love it.
defenses are up.
Galing ng kalaban ah. Galing. Baog kami dito ah. Saan lahat ng lane?
Time for a little help. Throwing down a heel.
Wala akong damage. Taas na ng net worth nila. Ilan? 18k, 15k. Ay na. Uy, pinakamaba. ADS pa ako. I mean, DPS pala. ADS ulit. Ano to? LOL.
Gotta get as many of these up as I can.
Complete foot, slowing bullets. Let's go press 1. Hindi, wag na. Ano kailangan po? Mystic Reach?
Pragmatic, stylish, I love it.
I don't even know what I'm doing.
Being delivered.
Putting down a turret.
Bigo, bigo, bigo.
Yung mga patayan, taas network nila eh. Patay kayo dyan.
Setting up a turret.
Dapat di ka dumaan dyan.
We're staying in this fight. Wall incoming. They killed the detective.
Ay, punta sa taas.
Gotta build me some backup. Nowhere to hide.
Wala kang damage, putang ina. Gago.
Nice up.
Fuck!
You can't hide from Maurice and I.
Ang mga kalaban ko dito. Mga kalaban ko dito.
Turret's online. All right, buddy, give him hell. Setting up a turret. This is our battlefield. Gotta keep. Turret's up. Sending out a wall.
Ay, din ko na ano.
Need more firepower. Building cover. Nowhere to hide. Fire! I think I raped.
Wala akong damage.
Maurice is going to find you.
I'm under attack.
Time to block him off. Turret's online. down a heal. Looks like it's all up to me. All right, buddy, give him hell. Don't let them out.
I'm under attack.
你别在那鸡巴2杠14，操你他妈那个钩子勾的他妈小兵是吧？这边是怎么了？
2到14，傻逼，
我也没
操你妈2杠14，他妈你一点用都没有啊！首先他妈抓不了人，你他妈能干啥呀？
As up as I can.
64次，
Building a barrier. You need to pick me up.
I'm under attack.
要你有鸡巴啥用啊，傻逼！要你有啥用啊？我就想问问你啊，你有啥用啊，废物啊！
Kahit isang lane natalo eh, no? Ang hirap na, no? Yun ang palang feeling na pag ano, magagaling yung mga nakatalad. Yun pala yung ano, feeling. Putang inang yan.
While he's taking a nap, Takaoka decides to snoop through his phone and finds pictures of another woman at the nightclub with him. Those weren't even explicit or anything, just photos that align with his work, right? Luna steps out of the tub to go to sleep in the actual bed of the apartment, and it's all good. That night, Takaoka waits until about 3:50 a.m. To ensure he's really asleep. She takes out a knife and stabs him in his stomach. He obviously instantly wakes up, shocked that he literally has something in his body, and before being able to
Waited your whole life for this moment, Warden.
Puro mga rush.
Seize it.
Mga rush yung nakikita ko. Ano pala kaya importante pag di-delay dito? Okay. Fuck.
Catch. Ready to train my abilities. No one runs forever. Can't forget to shop. Throwing flash.
Mabos ang bala.
For the cause.
Fuck.
Defeat me if you can.
Oh, tangina nga. Lag ba ako? Hindi naman.
I won't yield. Might be time to go shopping. We won't falter! Or will you fight? You're looking to survive. You came to the right place. It's brutal out there, huh?
My metal will be tested, and I will not falter. Defeat me if you can. I need to push myself. Victory! Alchemical flash! Flash prepared. Strike them down!
Fuck me, di tumama shots ko. Bagal ng fire rate ko.
Strike them down! Catch! I will not fall!
Is this a song? I will not die. I will survive.
Never back.
Our blue guardian has been defeated.
Your enemies will curse your name.
I'll give it my all.
Kuha ko yung bot.
Throwing flash. I won't yield.
Building speed, slowing hex.
Swing by anytime. Stay strong. Exquisite, isn't it?
Tutuloy ka eh.
We won't fall.
Net worth niya 3.6 ang 4.3.
Defeat me if you can.
Our purple guardian has been defeated.
Ano ko yun?
Defeat me if you can. I will endure. I tried and failed.
Show no mercy.
Bagal lang ata. Fire rate nito.
I won't yield.
Swerte mo ah.
Face me.
Greedy ako masyado. Ginawa yun. Masyado akong greedy.
To push her away, Takaoka sits on top of him, asking him if he really liked her. I think in this situation, every guy would do the same thing, and he just tells her, I love you, and then pushes her to the side. He runs towards the elevator to try to get out of the building ASAP, and Takaoka follows him after grabbing some things. Luna loses consciousness, and so Takaoka literally drags his body to the lobby of their residence, and just sits next to him, waiting for him to die.
That
Now,
was
a
fine,
random
bro.
woman just walks by and sees all of this, and is shocked to her core. First thing you gotta do is obviously take a picture, and then she calls the police. In the picture, you can see Takaoka on her phone, talking to God knows who, without a care in the world. Nobody does anything to stop her though, since they don't know what she's actually capable of. I mean, I would definitely not go near a girl sitting next to a grown man.
Alchemical flash.
The spirit urn is waiting to be claimed.
Decisions, friend. The mighty will crumble. The secrets have been handed down generation to generation.
Let's take out Paradox.
Excellent work. They've taken
Patay,
the
oh.
objective.
See, enduring speed, Veil Walker. Let's go for this one. Actually, no, let's go for damage first. Heroic Aura. Nah, let's go for this. And then
Don't get caught.
cut this
You'll
one.
be
Okay, I got this one.
one standing.
Their dreams will come crashing down.
And I will be ready.
Ano bang damage na ito? 40 stamina reduction. Okay. Konti ng magazine. Ay, Bendicta.
To battle! Strike them down! Start running. Victory! This is where you fall. Defeat me if you can.
Kala ko kalaban yung katabi ko. Kala ko kalaban yung katabi ko po.
Who slowly acting like everything is sunshine and rainbows. And that brings us back to the beginning. Police arrive and arrest her, and she actually doesn't put up any sort of fight. While she's in the police car, you can literally see her smiling, like she enjoyed that stuff.
Man, Japan is weird. I don't know why some people attracted to yandere. I don't really understand that. I mean, yeah, it's cute on the first initial, but actually, I don't know.
Headed to park.
Defeat me if you can.
They've taken the objective.
First they panic, and then they die.
Velo Walker pa susunod ko. Heroic Aura.
Strike them down!
The spirit urn is waiting to be claimed.
Changing the world doesn't come cheap. Throwing flash! Alchemical flash! No, but I fear no one! We won't falter!
Pasang HP nun ah. Hindi ko maintindihan kung bakit di siya naka-recommend dito yung magazine. Debuff reducer.
The urn has been delivered.
I won't yield!
Our purpose has been defeated.
For the cause! And now we're in.
C pocket.
Keep fighting, Infernus.
Defeat me if you can. I will stand against many. Catch! Push forward! Start! Throwing flash! We won't falter! I don't fear.
The spirit urn is waiting to flame.
Teka lang ah. Teka lang ah.
An excellent choice.
He took out Yamato! Face me and die! Took down Ray! Defeat me if you can.
Yun.
Enemies have breached our stronghold.
Damage yun.
Come back if you need anything else.
Strike them down! He took out Vindicta!
Mga takbo.
For the cause!
Sakit no. Bagal lang movement speed ko. Ow. Bagal lang movement speed. Walang recommended dito na movement speed. Gara. Pero Makate, ang damage pag di siya pinapansin. Makate yung damage niya.
Alchemical flash!
IC7.
We must stop sinning before it's too late.
Yung kate.
To battle!
Teleport siya ron, diba? Dun sa multo na yun. Yung pocket na yun.
The urn has been dropped. The urn has been dropped.
I won't yield!
Fuck you.
Throwing flash!
Fuck! Wala akong kampi. Farm lang yung Yamato. Parang kailangan dito ng magazine talaga. Ewan ko ba't hindi siya recommended. Kailangan ko ng magazine. Kailangan ko ng magazine. So ilan na yung magazine na to kung sakali. Bakit? Despawn pa ako. Ang score ko? 5-4. Fuck, ang baba. Ano yung ace namin? Sobrang baba oh. Ah, AFK siya. Kaya pala. Taas net worth ni Bebop. Ano kills niya? 9-6. Naubos yung kakampi ko.
We won't falter! Took down pocket. Charge! Defeat me if you can.
Enemies have picked our stronghold.
I need to push myself. In a few seconds, it'll all be over. Defeat me if you can. I'll give it my all. Defeat me if you can. We won't falter!
Hindi siya na-lock doon.
So, throwing flash.
What the hell's going on?
Strike them down.
Siphon bullets, crippling hedge. I might use this for cooldown. Let's go for this one.
Exquisite, isn't it?
Ang hirap kasi pag walang bala eh. Kung wala akong Titanic magazine.
Victory!
Okay.
I won't yield!
Hindi pala siya partially reloaded talaga.
Good work, Wraith.
them on their toes.
Ay, gago.
They will try to kill me.
They pray for a salvation that will never come.
Alchemical flash!
Durog.
For the cause!
Permanent ba yung nakakuha ko dito sa 6-2 siphon bullets? Let's go for this one.
The spirit urn is waiting to be claimed.
Ilan na ba damage ko? 120. Let's go for a crippling headshot.
We won't falter! Push forward!
Enemies have breached our stronghold.
Never show fear, no matter the odds. Victory! Push us! I won't! I don't check out in furnace. I will see.
Crippling headshot. Let's go. Kaya ko mai-rearrange yung mesa ko. Ano kaya? Ano kaya ang gagawin ko dito? 10. Teka dyan.
And up they go. I love this trick.
That is so OP.
This is only the beginning.
How can you even get away with that? Ay, nag-quit na yung Yamato. Ano ba? Yamato? Yamato.
Is descending. They don't have any answers for Wraith.
They have the rejuvenator.
PC yata yung Yamato. Patay si Infernus. Narinig kong ice. Nakakatakot.
For the cause! This is my moment. It took out an furnace. I fear no one.
Dami nila dun. Baka sumunod kay Infernos. Ano ba ginawa ko? Sumunod dun. Debuff reducer.
Now comes probably the most obscure thing ever. Following this attack, Takaoka basically builds a huge following because she's somewhat attractive. Like, what? It's like the guy who ran
Somewhat?
over
Did she's not even.
Fly true.
Natignan nila yung ano.
I have an omen for you.
I'm under attack. Enemies have breached our stronghold.
Way to go.
The spirit earth is waiting to be claimed.
Start running. Defeat me if you can.
This is fun.
Throwing flash.
Wow, ulti. Wow, okay. Ulti.
The rejuvenator has expired.
The enemy could be anywhere. Strike them down. I'll put this to good.
Is ours.
Ulti ka pa. King ina.
Take out Kelvin.
For the cause. They couldn't have gotten far. We won't falter!
Just Kelvin.
Decisions, friend.
They only have one shrine left.
Stay where you are.
Don't waste your bullets.
If you think this is impressive, wait until I get going.
Their patron is exposed.
Victory! Tag them! I will endure!
Ang lakas mo. Nasaan na? Bakit? Buka.
Throwing flash!
Finish their hatred off.
Must be cautious. Defeat me.
Okay.
I will stride across the battlefield. Defeat me if you can.
You have honored and now you will reap the rewards.
Panalo pa. Throw kayo ah. Baba yung damage ko, no? 42 out of saan? Ay hindi, si Yamato.
who ended up getting like edits made of him. She got fan art. People described her as too beautiful to be criminal and all of that. In December of 2019, she got 3.5 years in prison for attempted. Only 3 years for all of that. The good side is Luna was able to recover from his heavy injuries. He regained consciousness 5 days after the attack, even though the doctor said that he only had a 20% chance of surviving. But obviously he wasn't able to talk, eat, walk, or do anything essentially for quite some time. But after recovering from all that, as far as I know, he actually came back to the industry. He still works in the same host bar, but it's like way more popular now since everybody knows his story. The one downside is that his liver doesn't work anymore, and so
Your creator is
Grade
counting
9 fixer. What does that mean?
Don't fail her.
What does that mean? Yes, tsaka...
I see McGinnis. Stuff's ready.
Just fight to the end. I'm the best.
Sorry, man. Masyado siyang deep.
I should go by the shelf. If you need more protection, you know where to find it.
Ito gumali. Oh, ayaw na ano yung hilo. Wala kayo na. Ayun. Nice.
Good luck completing the ritual.
Step reach. Cooldown agad tayo.
The only thing that makes this better is sending them flying before the bomb.
Our blue guardian has been destroyed.
Fuck! Wala akong roll, putang ina.
Quantum entanglement.
Guys is missing. Black hole's online.
Di pa namatay. Fuck.
That's how you send a message.
Headed to yellow.
You can't hide forever.
Our yellow guardian has been destroyed.
You ever punch a man a city block? Hell of a feeling.
Bang, ilan ang ano mo.
Laser's running hot.
Alexander. Ulul. Sino ba to? Si Hayes ba to? Patabi ko?
Our purple guardian has been destroyed.
I'll get me hooks and
Singularity's on cooldown. I see Vindicta.
what? Leave my mates.
Takot siya. Lipat agad ang gaga. Ay, tanging Abrams katabi ko.
I see Abrams.
Open si na Abrams, gago.
I see Geist. Krill's missing. I see Krill. I see Vindicta.
Good luck exquisite, isn't it?
Ay, tito naman.
Singularity's on cooldown.
Fuck you.
The spirit world is waiting.
I see Krill.
Improve cooldown and hook everything else on bomb. Low breach. Let's go for that. Let's go for that first. Gain 2.5% bomb damage for every enemy hero set.
Excellent work, Professor.
Gago.
Dynamite.
Grade 9 fixer. What does that mean?
He can't drink alcohol, but he can probably live with that. And this guy's some kind of saint. Luna agreed to do an interview with some reporters, right? And he literally said that he fully forgives her for what she did. This guy's like an angel or something. Now let's talk about
Their Macinus is out.
Takaoka. This all happened in 2019 and she got 3 years doing some basic maths, and she's been out there, and she actually posts quite regularly on her Instagram, still doing cosplays and stuff like that. And she also streamed like Pokemon and stuff.
Our young generation is clearly lost, man.
Junji Matsumoto was born in 1962 in, who'd have guessed, Japan. You could describe him as a typical introvert kind of nerd type of guy. He didn't really talk much, and when somebody asked him something in class, he would just straight up not respond or go to the bathroom as an excuse. He really was just in his own world for real. For example, one time in class, he was asked what he wanted to be when he grew up, and he just didn't say a word, probably just stared at the teacher. Later, when the classmate asked him in private what he wanted to do, he said he wanted to be a scientist, since he was pretty good at math and science. So he might have been a shy kid, but he at least had something going for him. He could focus on becoming a scientist and just live a normal life. Unfortunately, he would experience an episode of events that will lead him to both of his parents. After graduating high school, he secured a job for a little bit, but quit since he couldn't adjust to the workplace, probably because of his shyness or anxiety, and he just kinda stopped looking for jobs. Instead, he now spends most of his time watching anime, reading manga, and helping out at the liquor store that his mother runs, alongside his big bro. He has no sort of friends, and his family are really the only people he actually talks to. It's safe to say he doesn't really have any plan on what to do with his life, and he continues this exact lifestyle for 30 years. 30 years of watching anime, reading manga, and sometimes helping out at the store. And now comes the first unlucky event. His brother is hospitalized because of some sort of illness, which leaves Junji's mom and Junji to run the store now. But things just don't really work out after a while. Other corporations around the area slowly open up stores, Junji can't really operate things, and the parents are quite old now, so they decide to close the shop.
И чё, мы это хорошо.
and retire. I mean, he's around 49 when this happens, so his parents are getting up there as well. Respect to the grind, but at one point you gotta hang it up, right? So they're both retired now, and his dad kind of runs the household since his wife is not physically able to do so. Here comes the second unfortunate event. On June 13, 2021, Hirokazu, the dad, who's now in his 80s, just rides his bike when he gets into an accident. And you know how quickly older people can break bones and stuff. I mean, it's pretty crazy that he's even able to ride a bike at that age. But the father ends up being wheelchair bound nonetheless. With his brother hospitalized for 10 years now, and his dad being in a wheelchair.
Mali ako, puta.
It's time to fight for one.
Kalaban ko. Professor. Dynamo. Dalawa dito. Ba't dalawa dito? What the fuck? Huh.
I see Kevin.
Try hard naman itong dalawa na to. Raw hards. Raw hearts.
Good luck completing the ritual.
The old left hand won me a lot of purses. I mean,
Hindi nag-count yun.
You got expensive taste. I love it.
I see Kevin.
I've got enough of these for everyone.
Geist is missing.
Setting up a turret.
You're on borrowed time.
Need more firepower.
Una. Una.
Yung sardinas nga dyan eh.
Purple Guardian has been destroyed. Our Blue Guardian has been destroyed. They cannot run from you, Vindicta. You are perfection, Hayes.
I see Geist.
Well done. Ace has arrived. The spirit urn is waiting to be claimed.
I see Shiv.
Come get the shop.
Oh my god, walang tao magdamag.
Let's see him stand against something like
Bought that off a Knickerbocker that was about to get his legs broken.
Ang baba ng network ko dahil... Shit. Makakablo mo na ako.
Death comes in many forms.
no one hits harder than me. Show no mercy.
All right, buddy, give him hell.
I see that handsome bastard.
Nice work. You wanna mess with me?
Let's push yellow.
Let's push yellow.
Let's push yellow.
Is waiting to be claimed. Be relentless.
Makita yung ano, Kelvin.
The enemy mates are about to pick the fight.
Mas nakatingin pa ako sa mapa kung para saan eh. Oops. Improve reach. Para mas okay yung laser, no? Pero kasi yung cooldown niya eh.
Let's go yellow.
I don't know.
You have a good eye.
Hey the ghost. Coming out, Bond. Summoning crows. Kitang boses niya, no? Yung TikTok. Tama ng price. Ano network ko? Well, I guess the other guys is the same as I am. What's that?
Wheelchair, it is now fully Junji's responsibility to take care of his parents and the household, and he's overwhelmed. He suddenly has to attend to them 24/7. Every time they gotta go to the toilet, he has to help them. When they need to take a shower, he's gotta help them. And something like a retirement home is out of the question since they do not have the funds to support them at all. Matter of fact, he uses the money that they saved up over the decades to buy the food and all that, since he hasn't had a job that actually paid him since he was 19. It really seems like a dead end. Now let's talk about the most unfortunate event. On June 20th, 2021, Junji was just watching his favorite anime. Probably like when his sister came to the street. Enough with the jokes. This is really sad. He watches this anime to kind of escape reality for a bit, and his father asks him to help him to the toilet, as usual. But there's a really good scene happening right now, so Junji just tries to ignore him. His father really needs to go though. He's kind of complaining and annoying him if you put it like that. He asks him over and over again, until Junji snaps. He's so fed up with his father that he grabs an electrical cord and just starts him. His dad kind of squirms around and tries to stop it, but Junji continues. And all that is left now is his father's soulless. Junji doesn't just live with his father though, right? His mother witnessed everything as well. So in his head, he needs to get rid of her too. He's now left with two in front of him. He grabs them and puts them into the big ass empty fridge that used to be part of the liquor store. He shoves them in there and just tapes the door shut. Jesus Christ, bro, this stuff is disturbing. After the adrenaline probably kind of wears off, he realizes that he had just become a criminal. Even though he just wanted to watch his anime, he does not want to go to jail though, probably because he wouldn't be able to watch his anime. So he devises a plan to escape. After the incident, he calls off all appointments that his parents had. He calls off the rehab for his mother, and he postpones the visit of the welfare guys who would have come to the home to check up on them. On June 23rd, he takes all the credit cards of his parents and withdraws everything he can out of them, and then he leaves. There's a mix of him finding his bike, taking trains, but he essentially travels from one side of Japan to the other side, sleeping in different hotels, motels, whatever he could probably find. While he's gone, his relatives actually try calling them multiple times, but obviously nobody picks up. And so after a while of calling them, they called the police instead for a wellness check. They knew that Junji was under a lot of pressure and was kind of closed off, not really the guy to talk and stuff. So on June 28th, the police checks up on them. Upon entering the house, they notice this weird stench coming from the fridge, and when they open it, they find this. This is a 3D model of how the were inside the fridge. Damn. So they find both of the parents, but they don't know where the last person is. Junji. I mean, in their heads, everything could have happened to him. He might have been kidnapped, or also met the same fate as the parents. So they ask around. They interview the neighbors and stuff like that, and they all tell them Junji was kind of acting weird lately. And somebody spotted him riding his bike, and that leads to a nationwide search for him. The police looks at security camera footage, they ask hotels and all of that, and through that, they actually managed to track him down pretty easily. On July 4th, 2021, they find him in a hotel parking lot in Kyoto. They first arrest him for leaving corpses without reporting it or something, which you obviously should do, but he quickly admits that he was actually the one who them. And not gonna lie, this next part is just really depressing. During his trial, the prosecutor asks him about his family, and he basically describes how his mother suffered from a lumbar fracture. I don't know what that's either, but her back probably hurt so much that she said she didn't want to live anymore. And his father developed dementia in early 2021, and when he asked Junji to help him use the toilet, all that pent-up frustration and pressure just exploded, and he didn't care about the repercussions of his actions. During that trial, there were also talks about him having a personality disorder, which made him so shy and isolated from everybody, but that didn't really change the result of the sentence. On the 6th of, I don't know to be honest, because the article doesn't say what 6th, but I'm guessing on the 6th of July, he was sentenced to 30 years in prison for alongside some other things. So Tsutomu Miyazaki started off like almost every single person on this list. He was born in 1962 in Japan, and during his childhood he kept to himself a lot. He was bullied in school and didn't have a lot of friends, or any friends. And the reason for that is actually because of something entirely out of his control. He had a hand deformity which made his hand appear claw-like. I couldn't find a real close-up of his actual hand, since a lot of people use this picture, which doesn't even have anything to do with this case, but you can kind of see his hand right here. Because he was kind of an outcast, he spent a lot of time reading manga and watching anime, and like a lot of successful teenagers, he also dabbled in spicy content and horror movies as well. But as time went on, he gradually started watching more violent and graphic stuff. But I'll get there. Now, although Tsutomu was kind of a loner, from the outside it actually looked like his life was pretty nice. He was born into a wealthy family. They ran a newspaper business and they were actually quite well known in the area. Additionally, he was a straight A student. He attended a very prestigious high school and was basically a 5-star recruit, but for academics basically. He wanted to study English to become a teacher. Pretty wholesome so far, but of course the outside often does not reflect the inside. People flex designer stuff even though they're dead broke. And Tsutomu felt the same way, dead inside. His parents were always working. They put so much pressure on him to perform well in school. He still had no friends, and the only person he actually talked to was his grandfather, who was basically raising him. And all that just accumulates over time. You can tell that he started to show cracks when his grades dropped, and they dropped dramatically. He went from a rising star to ranked 40 out of 56, which is pretty bad if you can't tell. Now, the high school he attended was connected to university, so if you do well enough, you can transition to study to study, in his case English, right? But his grades dropped so low that he couldn't get in, so he had to attend a random local college instead, and decided to become a photography technician out of nowhere. And you really gotta remember these small details, because once I reach the end, all these little facts will have such a compounding effect. Tsutomu studied photography or whatever, and during this time, his obsession with weird media started growing. Apparently in college, he would take not so appropriate photos of female players on the tennis court, and be an absolute fiend for spicy magazines. But according to him, they became boring after a while, since they black out the most important part. So he would go down the route of seeking more extreme stuff, such as media including people not of age. He really fell into the depths of full-fledged degeneracy, and this is only the beginning. At home, he still felt like nobody in his family really cared about his happiness or anything. They were only focused on material things and the business, which actually drove him to be quite depressed. And during that time, in the mid-1980s, so when he was in his 20s, he actually considered self-exile. His grandfather managed to talk him out of that though. Unfortunately, in 1988, his grandfather would pass away. His only source of sincere human connection was gone now. The worst thing that could ever happen to him during this period happened. Simultaneously, his grandfather was probably the only one who kept Tsutomu's dark thoughts in check, so he had no person who would regulate him. And considering that regulate means taking pictures of women, you can kinda guess where this leads. His change of personality was noticeable from the get-go. He began spying on his little sisters and attacked them when they confronted him. When his mother caught wind of it, she also said that he should watch less of his videotapes, that at this point contained increasingly more vile and graphic stuff. Like the anime and horror tapes definitely were not the mainstream type, let's put it this way. He wasn't watching My Neighbor Totoro, okay? And in order to feel closer to his grandpa, that he understandably very much missed, he would also eat some of his ashes. But as crazy as it sounds, the worst has yet to come. It's August 22nd, 1988, and Mari Kono, who's 4 at the time, is just playing at a friend's house, and Tsutomu takes notice of this girl. I would really love to say that he just went on with his day and all is good, but instead he decides to lure her in his black Nissan, and he drives off with Mari. He drives for a while, and eventually parks the car under a bridge. For 30 minutes they just sit in the car and do nothing, until he decides to murder her, and does some unspeakable things after. When he's done, he dumps the near his house and lets it decompose, before keeping some parts as a trophy in his apartment. He then decides to send a box to Mari's family, including several teeth, grounded bones, and photos of goat, and I think you can imagine who they belong. This absolute psychopath also sends a postcard that reads, Mari, bones, investigating teeth. This happens a total of 4 times. October 3rd, 1988, Tsutomu spots Masami Yoshizaki, who's 7 at the time. He offers Masami a ride, which she unfortunately accepts. He drives to the same place that he brought Mari to, and he does the same unspeakable things to her, takes her clothes, and returns home. December 12th, 1988, Erika Namba plans to return home from a friend's house when Tsutomu kidnaps her. He her into his car and drives to a parking lot. and takes pictures of her, of the inappropriate kind. Her was found 3 days later, close to the parking lot. On December 20th, Namba's family also received a postcard that reads, Erica, cold, cough, throat, rest, death. June 6th, 1989. It's been almost an entire year now since his first victim, and he still has not been caught yet. Ayako Nomoto, age 5, is again just playing in the park when Tsutomu asks to take pictures of her. After doing so, because Ayako obviously doesn't think anything of it, she's 5, goddammit, he convinces her to get into his car where they could continue taking pictures. And again, he murders her. He does not let her rest though. He keeps
Headed to purple. I see Geist.
Mali ako to rin.
Hey, free cells. Thanks for the pickup. You're dropping me? Finally. I knew I could count on you. This'll send them running.
Permanent ba yun? Yung buff na yun? Hindi naman siguro. Ang taas ng ano, dagdag naman ano. So 8 na score ko, nakakaya. Anong score yan?
keeps her body in his apartment for the next 2 days and does unspeakable things until it starts to decompose. He also drinks her and eats parts of her. To make it even harder for all of the families of the victims, he would keep sending postcards describing what he did to them in detail and even call them regularly. When the families would pick up, they would just hear him breathing through the phone, not a single word being said. July 23rd, 1989. Tsutomu sees 2 sisters playing in a park. He convinces the younger sister to go with him. Again, he starts taking pictures. But before this horrible cycle of suffering is able to continue, her father steps in and attacks Tsutomu. Luckily, her older sister who stayed behind ran to her dad to tell him what happened. Tsutomu was able to escape, but leaves his car behind. When he eventually returns, thinking that he's safe, he's finally arrested by the police, who waited there the entire time. But that is not the end, just yet. When the police enter his apartment, they find a total of 5,763 videotapes, some containing anime, some containing horror movies, and some containing footage of his victims. Like the entire room was just filled with tapes. On March 30th, 1990, pretty much all of Japan knew who this man was, and it was a huge thing on the news. His dad, who apparently didn't know any of this beforehand, didn't bother to pay any kind of attorney to represent him, and his whole family obviously disowned him. During the trial, Tsutomu would really just yap. He blamed his alter ego for all the... He called him the Rat Man. This is a picture he drew to describe him. Bro really just copied the Chuck E. Cheese costume. The thing is, under Japanese law, people who are in the state of like insanity where they commit their crimes aren't punished in the sense of going to prison. Instead, they would be sent to a medical facility or something similar. So it was really just a question of, was he actually insane or just pretending to be to get his sentence reduced? During the interrogation, he talked about how the Rat Man was always standing next to him, and before he killed one of the victims, 10 rat men would just appear, and once they were gone, the victim was dead. Like, really just trying to seem like he was insane, which he obviously was to a degree, but he was definitely also fully aware of what he did. There were 3 teams of expert psychiatrists analyzing him, I guess, and they all came to different conclusions. One deemed him as schizophrenic, the other team said that he had multiple personality disorder, and the third team said that he might have had a personality disorder, but was still capable of his actions, making him fully responsible. The court ended up deciding in favor of the last team, and so on April 14, 1997, he was sentenced to death, and he was actually hanged in 2008. That was something, man. Subscribe if you want more.
Na-nerf ba yung ano? O talagang bobo lang ako ngayon? Ang inang yan.
Хорошо, что украинцы нам привезли воды, а то без воды сидели целую неделю. Ни света, ни воды, ни газа, ничего.
Рядом Украина. Мы
Why I cheated after swearing I never would? Seriously, why can't I find a decent man? Amy Horton, journalist. I contract the genital wards. Why I'm not ashamed. I'm a strong, independent woman, but I still want the guy to make the first move. Look, I'm gonna say it.
Fuck.
Building cover! Turrets up!
They've taken an objective.
Ang daming ano, nangyayari.
Careful, bebop.
Sorry.
Don't focus on Yamaka.
You've got yourself a little problem.
Dito. Ang lamok yan. Inuubos talaga yung lamok dito sa bahay. Ay, gago.
Great work.
Ano naman kasi wala namang friendly hook to eh. Hindi mo tumatama to sa kakampi eh.
I love this trick. Nasa likod yung Yamato. Shit.
I know this is gonna piss people off, but sometimes people contract diseases without it being their fault. Like if their partner cheats or something and then they fuck you and then you get it, for example. I think there's a really bad stigma with men and women that implies they sleep around. But if you follow this up with like this kind of shit, I don't know, man. Other concerns only seem like it might be more her fault. Yeah, no, if you like, you know, I contracted genital warts, I'm not ashamed. Okay, but then why can't I find a decent man? Men are all games. Something's like,
You can't run from fate.
Getting ready to tell you. We can outlast them.
Sak. Ano tayo? Ano na tayo?
Taking flight.
GG na.
Enemies have breached our stronghold. Vulnerable.
Alright, I think I'm getting the hang of this.
Baba lang score ko ah. Di na mababawasan ah. Okay, I'm done. That was embarrassing. I have done so much shit plays there. Okay, I'm done.